I sent my boss a 3-page apology email for a typo in a Slack message. I cried in the bathroom. I'm 32. This is the autopsy. This is the autopsy of my own professional corpse. I'm showing you the 5 dark psychology tactics that did this to me, so they don't do it to you. One of them will make your stomach turn because you would probably thank someone for using it on you. I'm not selling you a course. I'm not opening a mentorship program. I'm not running a Discord where I farm your desperation for monthly payments. This channel exists because every other voice on this platform is selling you band-aids for bullet wounds. I'm just showing you the bullet. Let's start with strategic incompetence. This is the act of deliberately performing a task poorly or feigning ignorance to offload work onto someone else. The mechanism is weaponized empathy. It exploits your stupid, noble desire to help and the team's pressure to meet deadlines. In a meeting, a colleague will bungle a simple report update, looking helplessly at the group until you volunteer to fix it for the sake of time. The tactical takeaway is simple. When someone consistently fails at tasks within their capability, offer to show them how once, but never take over the work. You're not a helper. You're a volunteer for exploitation. The second tactic is forced teamwork. This involves reframing your idea, your project, your sweat as a collective we effort just as it nears success. The mechanism is credit diffusion. It leverages the bystander effect and social loafing to insert themselves into your reward stream. You spent weeks solo developing a new client proposal, and as you present the final draft, a superior says, "Great work, team. Let's polish this up together for the board." Your tactical takeaway: document and communicate your solo contributions early and often in written form. Create a paper trail of your own work. If you don't, your career becomes a group project where you do all the work and someone else gets the grade. Number 3 is the reverse mentor. This is when a senior person solicits your advice or opinion not to learn, but to assess your loyalty and steal your ideas without credit. The mechanism is a trust test combined with idea harvesting. It lowers your guard through flattery and creates a false sense of alliance. A manager takes you to coffee, asks for your fresh perspective on a strategic problem, and then presents your core concepts as their own in the next leadership meeting. Your move is to share general directional thoughts, but never give your fully formed, executable plan in an informal, unrecorded setting. Your ideas are your currency. Stop handing them out like free samples. Subscribe if you want a voice that does treat you like a customer. Don't subscribe if you think your workplace is a family. It's a cage with better snacks. Fourth is conditional omission. This involves deliberately withholding a critical piece of information you need to succeed, then watching you fail. The mechanism is controlled failure. It creates a scenario where your performance falters, making you look incompetent and reinforcing the manipulator's perceived superiority. You're rating a project, and a peer who has access to the budget forecast neglects to tell you about a coming cut that invalidates your plan, only mentioning it after the fact in your post-mortem review, your defense. For any critical project, formally and in writing, ask all stakeholders, what am I assuming that might be wrong? What information do you have that I do not? Make them put their silence on record. The final tactic is framed urgency. This is the practice of manufacturing a false deadline or crisis to bypass your rational scrutiny and force compliance. The mechanism is cognitive load hijacking. A sudden emergency state triggers stress hormones that impair your prefrontal cortex, making you more likely to agree to unfavorable terms. A colleague rushes to your desk saying a vendor needs a signed amendment in the next hour for a deal you've never seen, pressuring you to sign off to salve the relationship. Your tactical takeaway: treat all unscheduled crises with skepticism. Your default response should be, I need 30 minutes to review this independently before any commitment. Panic is a product they sell to get your signature. Comment your most recent professional humiliation. Put it in the replies. The people who admit it are the ones who stop repeating it. The master pattern connecting all these tactics is the strategic creation of a power gap. Each method functions by engineering a scenario through feigned weakness, social pressure, flattery, secrecy, or panic that widens the perceived power differential between you and the manipulator. Their goal is not just a short-term win, but to train you into a predictable, compliant response for the long term. You become a dog that salivates at the bell of their manufactured crisis. Your greatest defense is to replace your reflexive reaction with mandatory procedure. When you institute a simple pause and a standard question between any surprise and your action, you reclaim the power they are trying to steal. The game's rules are public. Most refuse to read them. If this made you angry, you needed it. If it made you defensive, you are already losing. Hit dislike. Prove me right.